Howdy folks, I hope you're well. Welcome to RPI TV tonight. Apologies for the few minute delays. As always, Mark's late, but we are there now. So I'm just going to check that you guys can see me alright. Let's make sure that we are broadcasting still. I can see lots of people watching, so I just want to make sure you can hear me alright, see me alright, all that stuff. That's good. I think we're broadcasting alright. Yeah, we are. Wayne Conway said hello. How are you, Wayne? Hope you're well, mate. Great, excellent. Thank you very much. So, we've got a few things tonight, and one of them is a guest who I'm going to be bringing on in a few minutes, he's a very special. He's a very special guest as well. In that. Just 1 second. He's one second. I can hear him a little bit. That'll do. So I'll just so we've got a very special guest on tonight. A young man by the name of Joshua. Now you may have seen me post about Joshua earlier, and he's going to be our guest in just a few minutes. Let's see who's watching. We've got people watching on our page on YouTube. We've got people watching on my timeline and in the group. Let's say hello to some people. Wayne says hello. Wayne Sweet, how are you, Wayne? Two Waynes. Ashley Steer, thank you for that. Stephen Marga, evening to you as well. Say hello, give me a shout out, and I will gladly say hello back. William McCauley says he's missed a few of the shows. Yeah, you can watch all of the shows on our YouTube channel, William. Any of the shows that we've done that you may have missed, you can watch on the YouTube channel. And soon, it's supposed to have been by today, soon you'll be able to watch them on all of our website. And I've been testing it. It's not quite ready yet, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be broadcasting from our own website as well, so it's not just on social media. People will be able to go to the website and view these broadcasts live as they happen. So a few technical things. It's working, but it's not quite right. People can't comment right, but it'll be there. Hey on YouTube. Melvin Horn, thank you very much. Wayne Sweet says he's all good. Margaret Elizabeth McCauley, hey Mark, how are you? I'm good. Tom Swift, 2 thumbs up and 2 UK flags. Tom, thank you for joining. James Kelly, how are you too? Thank you very much. Neil Gibson's watching on YouTube as well. Good evening to you, Neil. It's good to see people watching on different platforms as well, and that's what I like about this, being able to broadcast. But like I said earlier, we will have it where we're broadcasting on our main website. That will be the main place people can go to. They can just go straight to the website, and they can see these TV shows and any of the outside broadcasts and stuff we do, in addition to it being streamed. In addition to being streamed on all of the social media. So yeah, that's good. Messaging now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our very special guest Joshua on. I want you to all make him feel welcome. Let's get him on now. Greg O'Reilly, how are you as well? Glad you're on. James Kelly's on as well. All good. So let me bring Joshua in. way round, Mark. Joshua, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, yeah.
Don't be nervous.
No, you're alright.
Let me get you in on the screen right. So, I'm no good at this. This new software takes me some getting used to. Let's do it like that for now. Right. Joshua, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you on, and I'm glad we've got you on. So, I saw a post about you last week, and I was taken by the story. So just explain who it was that set up the GoFundMe for you, mate.
Yeah, so the first time I really met, I went up to the club, it was just to see like how they, because I was just thinking, because I have the rollers at the moment, just thinking I'll try racing, and I met Sam, started talking to her a bit, and like she ended up taking me, Wayne ended up taking me down to get some cornings, ended up going down to his loft, looking at his pigeons, like, and I come back with a Grisman and a check. And after a bit, like, he's just desperately trying to get me a loft. The guy at the club supposedly had a loft for me, but then ended up don't know what happened to it after the end. And then just like she just asked, I asked on Facebook. A few people offered me, but either they're too far away or the loft's too big. So I only got a small garden, like it's not too big. So and then she set up the fundraiser. Now, honestly, now I didn't think much would happen with it, and then I checked on about an hour later. It was only up to about £80. That surprised me. And then I checked back on the next day. It was about £400, and now it's up to over 1,113. I think it is now.
So you've smashed £1,000 target.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good. So how long is is it since you started keeping the rollers?
I started last year in September, and just tried. Well, this year, like I tried breeding them and things like that. I had a red mites and I had no clue. They're gone now though, because Dave Price, the guy from our club, he's given me some stuff for it, and it seemed to work. But luckily, last I just saved it to two young ones. I fly them now, but I just get a bit bored of them. There's not much you can do, just fly them every day, and they're
you want the thrill of racing, eh?
Yeah.
But people are in that club that you've been going to. They've showed you around. They've helped you, and ultimately Samantha, isn't it? That set up the page. She's been helping you as much as possible, and so now the plan is, now you've got this money raised, and we're also going to do another fundraising as well, because Gary Tomlinson's we're doing a raffle for entries into his race, which also could bring you some more money in as well. So what's your plans on the loft? Where do you know where you're getting your loft from? I saw something that somebody's going to be getting the loft sorted for you.
Yeah, because the Wayne, Sam's wife, husband, he called up the one guy, like, and he's offered to build a 10x6 loft for £500 for two sections, like, and that's good. But we're thinking just to go a bit bigger, so buy a 14x8 with a 2-foot corridor. So we could have, a breeding box in the one side, then just purchase in the other, like have the cocks in the one side.
And then when you get breeding, you can be breeding, and you can have a young bird section as well.
Yeah.
That's cool, mate. So you're going to go 14x8, and you can fit that in, yeah?
Yeah, hopefully that one. Yeah, he hasn't got back to him yet, but
well, I'm sure it'll happen now, mate. And so have you always been interested in birds and animals? What kind of got you interested in pigeons in general?
Well, I started off. I was just kind of thinking, like, I was just looking around on Facebook and things like that. I was planning to get some ducks, but then I was like, no, they're too messy. So I ended up getting 2 quails. I got a bit bored of them after, like, and just waited because I only lived for about a year. Then waited to, just before they died. I got 2 races for £5 for the 2. I got them and I had no clue about pigeon racing or anything like that, or rollers or anything like that. I kept them up in the bedroom in a cupboard, like in a little box.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And then after about a week of them, I had 6 in my room. So my dad built me a little 2 foot by 2 foot, it's about 6 foot tall little loft outside. I've still got that down. Just had them 2 in there because I had to tape the wings. So I knew if I let them up, they'd fly off. One of them was killed by the cat, and then the other one I've still got now. I don't really be upset if anything happens to her. And I ended up just getting 2 or 3 more. Now I've got them in there. I've got about 20, 25 of them, and I constantly want to get more, but I don't have the space. Like,
you got 25 racers?
No, I've got 25 rollers. I've got probably about 18 rollers and about 5 or 6 races in there.
Right.
Yeah. But the races now, I've got a few birds in there I've broken in, like they're strays, and I've just found them. Whoever's like the one of them there, a gay pied pigeon in there. They come into my friend's loft and he didn't want it. He's just got Pakistani birds, and he phoned up the guy. He said he didn't want it. He gave it to me, and I phoned up the guy. I said no, keep it. Because he can't be bothered to come get it. He was from Birmingham. He was about 10 miles from me.
But he couldn't be bothered to come and get it, which is, says a lot.
Yeah.
So you kind of got interested in it. What I'm trying to get is, when I was your age when I started. I was 12 years old, and what I saw is, down the road from where I lived, I saw a flock of racing pigeons flying around one day, and I'd always been into animals, had all kinds of animals apart from cats or dogs. We weren't allowed cats or dogs, but I've had everything. I had everything from locusts, mice, cockatiels, budgies, the lot. And then I saw these birds flying around one day, and they were flying in a tight pack. And I was just fascinated. And I eventually hunted down the guy that owned them. And then I just become a real pain in the backside to him. And I was always round there. And he got big lofts. And then about 4 months later, I finally persuaded my mum and dad to let me have a loft. We were lucky because we'd got quite a big garden. So my first loft, similar to yours really, is about 12 foot by 6 foot with an aviary on the front, a box aviary. And then I just got hooked, and that was it. And I was 12 years old as well when I first started. But one of the interesting things is that I didn't really care what people thought at school. In fact, I did a charity pigeon race. There was 12 birds that I took to our open day, and everybody had a bet on what bird would come back. And then we let them off, and my dad timed them in back at the loft about 10 mile away. But pigeon racing is not necessarily a very cool thing to do.
Yeah.
At the moment. Do your friends know what you're doing? Do your friends know about what your plans are?
Yeah. The first time I mentioned to them I've got pigeons, like, they just never thought much of it. Now, I've had them around the back garden when I've had the rollers out, and they seem to like them. I've got one friend interested in having some, but I've tried to get him a few races, but his dad doesn't want him or rollers or something like that. But his dad doesn't want him to have any. Mum or dad don't like them. But I've tried to persuade them, like, because there's not many kids anywhere around here now with pigeons. Well, I don't know any. I only know the one.
No, this is the big problem the sport's got, mate. Especially in the UK. It's a little bit different around the world. Like, I was in Romania last month, and there are younger people in Romania that race, but there aren't necessarily as many distractions over there for younger people. It's a different dynamic. What I'm trying to see is like, you know, some of your friends that have seen your pigeons in your garden, they've been interested, and I think that says a lot, doesn't it? If actually people understand more about them, and there's more likelihood for them to get interested in them. Have you had anybody take the mick out of you, you know, and or not?
Not really, no.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Because the trouble is this sport, this hobby's got like a bit of a image of like old people with a whippet and a, you know, walking stick, and it's far from that, as you know, and as everybody watching this knows. But it's that key question of how you get people knowing about it, and how you get young people like yourself interested. And one of the questions I want to ask is, what is it that fascinates you about pigeon racing? What hooked you? You know, like for me, it was that seeing them birds fly around, and then find out that these birds can fly hundreds of miles to their home. And even at the old age now of 44, so 32 years after that initial hook of seeing them fly around, it still blows my mind that, like, when I was in Romania, I saw held a bird that flew 990 miles back to its loft. That still, for me, is a massive thing. It still blows my mind. So from your point of view, what is the interest? What, obviously you started with rollers, but you said that got a little bit, you know, you want something else. So is it, you know, what is it for you that got you interested?
Well, it's the same as you, really. Like, just amazed me how they, even when you let them out, they fly up around, and they still end up coming back. Like, it used to amaze me because I used to just take this one race I had, just literally just down the road, less than about half a mile. It amazed me how it'd find its way back, like, because you never really see them disappear off when they're with the rollers, but they managed to do it.
It is amazing, isn't it? You know, and that's the other thing. Yeah. Nobody really knows how they do it. You know, there's some theories about magnetics, and they follow the line, but they follow certain what's the word? Points. You know, on the map, as it were. But nobody really knows how they do it, and I think from a young person's point of view, and you know, there's initiatives at the moment going on to try and get more racing pigeons into schools. Is this anything that your school knows about, you're interested in? Is there any way you think you could get that more involved in your school?
If I ever offered really to put them in the school, they probably would say no, like, but because the teachers, most of them know that, like, I've got the pigeons and things like that, but they're not really interested. I don't think they'll really bother.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think if other people your age knew exactly how fascinating these were, you know, maybe you should, when you start racing, maybe if you're up for it, maybe you should get some of your friends coming round, spread the word on race day, waiting for the birds to come back, because there's no better feeling when you're racing for them birds coming back, and then, you know, your friends seeing that them birds have raced X amount of miles and they've come back to you. That's the thing that will hook them. Maybe, and actually, bigger picture, we maybe should do that. Maybe we should, you know, as a sport, we maybe should have more like open afternoons and people being able to come back and see the birds racing. Like with these one-off races that happen, you know, there's non-pigeon people there that are fascinated by it. Like my girlfriend's never been into pigeons before she met me, and she was fascinated that seeing this bird fly back from 290 something miles. But it is an issue of getting, you know, this sport has got an issue of bringing new people in, and new people your age are much needed. Now I'm blessed that my youngest son, who's not that much older than you, he's 15, 16 in December, he's hooked, but he had me to make him hooked, you know.
Yeah.
And I think also I think getting younger people talking and working together is something else, because it's you younger people don't necessarily want 40 and 50-year-old something all the time to be, you need as much help as you can get, and that's great. But actually, if we could get a small group of younger people all talking together, like, all right, so from a social media point of view, I assume you're something similar to my son. He doesn't, he thinks I'm old and fuddy-duddy by using WhatsApp and text messages. You're probably like him and you use Snapchat.
I don't really use Snapchat, it's just Instagram for me.
So yeah, okay, so Instagram. So yeah, so people your age are using Instagram and Snapchat, right? And if I put my marketing head on how to attract people your age, they're the platforms that people your age are using, and that's what we need to be looking at. I don't use Instagram that much. I've never used Snapchat. I still don't get it, but that's what we need to be using. But I think we need to tap into people like your age that are interested. We need to be listening to you as to how we can make the sport more appealing. You've got some big barriers, and you've been lucky with the help that Samantha's given you and the help around that Wayne's given you and other people, in that you can start. But if you've got the money now to start, right? But obviously it's a lot of money, It's a lot of money to start properly. And the trouble is, with not starting properly, you'd get a disillusion quick. If you were going to next year racing, there's a lot of very generous people, as you found out in the sport. But I think there needs to be more. There almost needs to be like a sponsorship and a mentor. Like, what's happened to you really needs to be able to happen to any young starter out there. Because realistically, if it wasn't for Samantha and Wayne doing what they're doing, you'd be, parents haven't got the spare money to be able to go and get a loft and get what's needed. And if this sport's going to get people like you, and we need to help you. Now you'll have no end of people offering you babies to race for as young birds next year and what have you. But that idea of you see, you've already got people offering you young birds on the feed now. I've just seen some come in. We'll review the comments in a bit. What you've got is the start every young person that can't go out and spend money on a loft and spend money on decent birds, because that's the other thing. No offence to the birds you've got now, but the birds you've got now are not going to be holding their own racing. You know? And you want to be holding your own, and it's an uphill battle, the starting costs and knowing what to do. So I think there's got to be more of what's happened. Essentially what you've had people really caring about you getting going, impressed with you and what you're doing, and that's what we need to do more of. But what I'd like to do is I'd like you to get involved and any other young people you can bring in, and basically work out what's happened to you, how we can make that happen for other people. And like I said earlier, get you young people talking together. I'm lucky that I'm sure you and your dad get on really well, and merging them generations together and figuring out, like with my son, as I say, he's nearly 16, but you and him would get on because you've got a love of pigeons. You're the similar age, and I think this sport's missing a trick, actually consulting you. This is why I wanted to get you on. I wanted to get you on to know what would interest you and how it all came about. And it's actually similar to what most people are. They get hooked by it, and once I've been in and out of pigeons for 30 odd years, but it will never leave you, especially when you get that first bird come back from a race. You will always remember that. I remember mine. The first win I had was a bird that flew from Lerwick. We used to fly North Road, so Lerwick in the Shetland Islands. and she was my first bird, little hen she was, that came back. I'll never forget that. I was about 15 probably that time, and it'll hook you. So once you get that hook, you'll be in, and that'll be it. So what are your plans now? So you've got this money that's raised. So you're waiting on to get your loft. What else have you got? Have you got other things that you've been offered? What else do you need out of this money? What other help do you need? What's the plan to be able to get you up and running? I assume you're just going to start with young birds next year, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, you've got offers of young birds coming in here already as well.
Yeah.
Out of the money you've raised, obviously the big thing is the loft. As I say, Gary Tomlinson's going to do a raffle. We're going to put it out on Pigeon Prize to do a raffle. So that should raise some more money as well. What are you doing about clocking system?
I've been offered an ETS clock and a pad. I think with the money I have now, I'll probably just buy an extra pad. Because it's a Brycon system we use, but I kind of don't really want to race manual. The only problem is with that, because I find like my first race, you think of it because I'm going to get excited, and as soon as the pigeon comes in, I'm going to try and grab it. Then I think if I keep doing that, the pigeon's just going to think I'm not going to go in.
No, you got to go ETS, mate. If you club, you going in. You're already in a club, or are you joining one soon?
I'll join it next year. Yeah.
No, you got to go ETS, mate. That's the key to that.
Yeah.
So really, it's your loft, it's your ETS. Have you got birds? Have you got birds ready? Have you got people already going to give you birds?
I've been offered hundreds of birds, but I think the best advice I've probably been given off is probably Sean Madonna, Steve Duggan, and I think it's another 2 or 3 other people, but it's probably most in like the Black Country and the Midlands, because I've been offered a few birds from up with the northern. But the only problem I have with them is they're more long distance birds, and they're not gonna be sprinting because they've got to go through the mountains and things like that. It's like Wayne said to me.
Yeah,
you want a fast bird that can.
Yeah, you want to. I would say that's a good shout. I mean, Alexander, my son, he's getting sprint middle, and that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, you've got. Yeah, and we've got a lot of comments. Let's read through some of them now. Sorry. I've got loads of comments coming. Wayne Tweet says he's got a lovely hen racer. That's great. Joe Freely says, hey Mark, great to see young people getting involved in sport. Well done for giving the time and opportunity to this young man. I mean, this is what it's all about, Joe. Andrew Walton, where does he live? He lives in Birmingham, Andrew. Wayne Tweet says he'll be a champion one day. I'd put money on it. Well, you're going to be competing with my son Alexander, also wants to be a champion, so there'll be some young competition there as well. Gary Tomlinson says it's a young sport to come into. That's why we have to let out so many secrets. Young fanciers need all the help they can get. Andrew Walton says if this lad's coming into the sport, let's put him on the right path, or he will get fed up. Well, that's not going to happen with you because you've got enough people around you to be on the right track. You've got a lot of offers of birds again coming in. I'll let you read the comments on the broadcast afterwards. Yeah, like Dennis says, it takes a lot of dedication, but you've obviously got that because you've been looking after the birds you've got already. Sean Hagee's got an ETS already, as he's just said. Yeah, and then like Ian Holdsworth said, just enjoy it, Joshua, and don't be embarrassed to ask if things are not going to plan. I'm sure you've got enough people around you that are going to be. Take on what Sean McDonough says and Steve Duggan says. Sean Haig says you will not go far wrong. And you've got John Agwin saying he will offer you some. John's got some really good birds as well. Really good. And Samantha Thompson says you did yourself proud, and I agree. Josh, you've done great, mate. Listen, I want you to keep coming on and giving us an update, if that's all right. Every month, couple of months, whatever. I want to give you an update. I want to publicise you as much as possible because I want us to keep track of what you're doing and how you're doing. Also, what I'd like to do, if you're up for it, I would like to, on your first race, I would like to do a live broadcast from your garden.
Probably will.
Covering from your first race. You're up for that?
Definitely.
We'll come along with RPI and we'll do an RPI live from your first ever race, and we'll cover it and see what happens. But you're great for doing this. There's not a lot of people your age would be comfortable doing it, and that's why I think you're going to go far. And any help you need, you've got enough of it already, but anything else you need, we're always here to help. But well done. Let's get you that loft going now. You've got the money to get it. If you need any help with that stuff, there's a lot of people watching on here that, you know, if for some reason it doesn't work out with that loft, let us know, because we've got a lot of people watching this that can help get that sorted. I think the key thing is you need to get that loft up now you've got the money in place. You need to get that loft up as soon as possible, because you know, time is of the essence. Get it sorted and then get ready to get young birds coming in a new year. Are you planning to go to any shows?
It's pretty hard to get there for me now because my mum and dad or anything don't drive, but I was thinking of going to the one in, I think I've got it up with it, it's one in the Olympics show.
The Olympia show, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to get there or not.
Well, we'll talk about it. We might see if we can. We'll see, because Blackpool is a show and a half. Doncaster's this week. That's a bit short timeline, but let's see if we can figure a way of getting you up to Blackpool for at least a day. Because I think you'd like that. Yeah. Joshua, thank you for coming on, mate. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. If you need any help from any of us, let us know. But I'm glad you smashed the fundraising target, and you're now set on the right track. So, you know, there's some. I tell you what, real quickly, there's some other books maybe you should look, but we've got. I'm talking about it later on the show, and the stuff I'm talking about later that we're planning to do, we'll make sure you get as well. We'll give you a copy of what I'm talking about in a little while. But thank you for coming on, mate. As I say, let's keep in touch and stick with it. And I heard you got a copy of the Homing World, British Homing World, being sent to you now every week. So yeah, that's some good reading for you every week as well. All right, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for being on. You've done really well. And catch you soon, Josh.
All right, see you.
See you, mate. Well, there you go. What a great young man. We got about 80 people watching. Thank you for that. We got 45 people watching on the RPI page, 6 people watching on YouTube, and a bunch more on different places. And you know, that's what we need, isn't it? We need more people like him, and it's drilling down into the essence of what makes people interested. Like you heard him say that he doesn't think his school would be interested in having any. Why is that? How can we change that? Can we get his friends coming round on race days to watch the birds coming in? Can we, you know, what can we do to get more people like him involved? But the response to the fundraising has been amazing. Blown away by it. And again, I mean, thank you to everybody that's helped on that. It just shows you how good it is. He's now set up to get going, and we need to be able to do that for more people. And at the end of the day, it's not a cheap thing to get involved in, but at the end of the day, without being able to help these people, it's not going to happen. Let's see. Let's see what are the comments we've got. Oh, we talked about while I'm scrolling up to see the comments. There's a couple of things I'm going to share. So, if you do want to donate, and he has hit his funding target and all of that, but if you do want to donate, I'm going to give you the link if you want to shove a $5 or a $10 into to it. I'm going to put the link out there now. So he mentioned Liverpool show. Now I'm going to do a separate video about Liverpool show because at the end of the day, it's an RPRA event designed for you guys watching, RPRA members. I'm going to be doing a separate video about it, interviewing about it. It's the last Saturday or Sunday of the month. I'm going to be talking more about that. Let me just get organised. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to comments first and then we'll see. Chris Deegan says, which is a really good point, enjoy it, keep things small till you get on your feet. My advice is all best of luck, mate. Gary Tomlinson says, well said, Chris, exactly right. Don't get birds from over Tom, Dick and Harry. There's germs out there and you wouldn't get poorly birds. And I agree there, absolutely. Yeah, Wayne Sweet says, well done, kid. He's done great. I agree, he did. What a nice young man. Yeah, I spoke to his dad yesterday just because I needed to speak to him to get permission for him to come on and stuff. My son is going to Doncaster. So if anybody's watching this who is going to Doncaster, who Joshua knows, and who his parents are okay, if you're just going for the day, can we put out something there that obviously really Joshua's got to know, but if anybody knows Joshua who is going to Doncaster, obviously with his parents' permission, if we could get him up to Doncaster, that would be great for him to go up to Doncaster. My son's going up there as well, so it would be good for them to meet. So if anybody that knows Joshua would mind taking him up, if they speak to his parents and they're okay with it, I think it'd be really good if you could go up on Saturday. Yeah, Andrew Walton says not to have too many, 20 maximum. Carl Fox says well done, young man. Yeah, it was really good. Like I said, every couple of months I'm going to look. I'm going to look to get a catch up with him, and what I'm going to try and do on his first race, like I said, I'll try and do a broadcast so we can show him timing in from his first race. Right, let me just do something technically. 1 second. Broadcast so we can show him timing from his 1 second. He's got the audio on. He's not got the audio on now. Let's
get better.
Bring him on. Techno Gaz is coming on. Hang on. Wrong way round, Mark. Right, mate. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bring him on.
Good, yeah.
Gaz is
I'm good, yeah.
He's still got his audio up. He's still got his audio up.
1 second, mate. 1 second. We should be good now. Techno Gazza's back.
Yeah, that's what we need, eh? We need more people like him, and
amazing the support that the Pigeon Fancies, as they always do for every charity, everything is outstanding. He's reached I mean, to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of manufacturers out there which get this kid up and running.
Yeah.
From a business point of view for them, they ought to have built him a lot for nothing, and that whatever money's in the kitty ought to be to buy him drinkers, feeders, whatever else he's going to need.
Yeah, we'll see. We can figure it out for sure. Carl Ford says he lives in Birmingham and he'd be more than welcome to travel up with he and his wife, no problem. Carl, great for that offer. I'll try and get you in touch with his parents and we can get that sorted then, because like I say, it'd be good for him to go up there, assuming he wants to, which I'm sure he would.
Well, going to the show, Mark, you cannot possibly compare with Doncaster, Liverpool with Doncaster. It's never been the same league. And the other thing about, while we're on it, you know where I'm like, it is what it is. It's very, very poor planning from the BHWR, Prairie Weather, that they put it on the same day as the NRCC Day of Champions, which is a show which has been going now for 5, 6, 7 years. And I know that Reinhardt and the NRCC put a lot of work into it. And, I say things as they are. I'll be going to NRCC Day of Champions.
Fair enough.
You don't shit on your friends, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to say.
So why is that planned that day then?
I don't know. The NRCC had their date planned last year. Very, very poor planning. We could have gone for the Sunday. Why did the Liverpool show? Why couldn't it happen on Sunday?
Okay, fair enough. Mick Stone says if that lad can get someone to get him to Blackpool, he'll pay for his hotel. Mick, nice gesture. Thank you very much. Be in touch.
Fantastic.
As I say, my lad will be up there as well. So, right. So the main reason I've got Techno Gaz on briefly is, well, you went to, well, a couple of things. You went to Ireland at the weekend. How was it?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. I think Aaron Ennis and his younger brother represented Who Dares Wins, and I must say they did an outstanding, unbelievable job. Certainly paid dividends for me having an agent, or us having an agent in Ireland, because they taught the lingo. They draw people in. I was there if there were any questions, whatever. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Friday night was a disaster because I ended up smashed out my skull. I mean, 3:30 I went to bed. I'm up at 7. So the Irish are just so, they're loving it. They're actually loving, you know what I mean? But they take offence if you say no, and that's my problem. I can't say no. But yeah, we had a great time, superb time. What did amaze me was the amount of people that shook me hand and said, "Thanks very much for winning RPR TV," and this is no bullshit. Thanks very much for winning RPR TV and speaking about A-race widowed pigeons and being so honest. And that what meant more to me than 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 entries we got Ireland. It was amazing.
Okay, one of the main reasons I brought you on real quickly is that it was backed up in Ireland at the weekend. It's been talked about since you did your main show 2 weeks ago now. So I thought I'd bring you on really quickly because what a lot of people like is the fact that you. Carl said, same again. He's going to Blackpool. Sorry to interrupt, Gary. Train of thought, but I'm reading comments as they come in.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
He's going to Blackpool, and there's no problem with the lad jumping in with us. If I can help, good luck to him. Great, Carl, you're a star. Thank you very much. We will get that sorted then. I'll speak to his parents, and obviously I need to coordinate that, and we need to make sure they're or everything and whatever. But what I do know is that my Zandy's going to both of them, so he's going to have somebody his own age to be around, and I'm sure they'll get on and what have you. So, yeah. And Carl Fox said, seen Gary Tomlinson, had a great chat and signed up at the race. Cool. Right, so back to what I was going to say. What I was saying is, you've had a lot of people saying, since you did the big Widowhood epic 2.5 hour show a few weeks ago, people want to see it written down, people want to see it and be taught it. And so what, as a result of essentially what is popular demand, really, because there's been that many people say it, you're going to do a DVD.
Yeah, because so many people are ringing me all the time, messaging me all the time, and I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but I am really busy. What did you do here? What did you do there? What did you do on a Monday, on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? And so straight away then I started to think, hang on a minute here. I need to get this out there on a DVD, book, whatever it needs to be. Yeah? Because I ain't got time to sit on the telephone explaining things. Plus, there's other things when after I sat down last week, I forgot to mention this, I forgot to mention that. It's on the spot sort of thing where you ain't got time to do different things that I thought, well, I should have said this and I should have said that, and I didn't. As honest as I was, there's still bits that I thought, no, you should have known this. And so therefore, with the contacts I've had with the amount of people, I think it's, it's anything I can do, because I don't want, not that I don't put people off ringing me because I'm there all the time, but there's times when, especially with my dad being seriously in hospital and I'm spending a lot of time there whenever I can, they always say family comes first, which it does. I don't want to sound disrespectful to nobody on the phone, but there's times when I'm under a bit of pressure, and so if I can get it out there on a DVD, a book, whatever it needs to be, you've got it.
Well, what I've said to you since we talked about this is that people learn in different ways. Personally, I'm a reader. I would perhaps like to watch something, but then I would also like to have it documented so that it's there in black and white for me to keep going back to, rather than having to go back to certain sections of a video. Some people like to listen, and I said and full disclosure here, Gary and I have decided yesterday when we met briefly that Gary's going to do a DVD and a video, and RPI is going to produce it and film it and make it. So it's a thing we're kind of doing together, but it's Gary's DVD. And ultimately, rather than it just being a DVD, it's also going to be a book. And if you buy the DVD or the book, you're going to be getting the audio of it as well. And we're going to do, over a period of time, not straight away, Gary's going to do 4 series. And tell people you're going to be covering the 4, Gary.
Yeah, obviously the first one, which for me is the start of the season, is preparing the Widowwood cocks. Then we bring the next one, which is racing Widowwood ends, and that is my forte. Widowwood ends for me is the way forward. Racing ends, knock spots off the cocks, in my opinion. I probably do it in a different way to a lot of people do it. So yeah, we move on then to young birds, racing young birds, which will be very similar to the one Loft produced, apart from the feeding and the motivation. and then the final DVD will be basically what you do with the future stock you choose for the following year, the stockings you already have in your loft, to produce the athletes for the following year. It's like going to be a 24-hour maintenance DVD that is with different months a year, etc. But I'm quite excited, to be honest with you, because finally, you know, the people I've helped in the last 3 years, and I would love them to say, yeah, Gary has helped me, Gary has helped me, Gary has helped me, which we're struggling in a big way. And, you know, they've come to the fore and they're more than owning their own club, and that's what this was about. It's about such people as Josh, Zandy, etc. The young fancies coming into this world are going to have a start, they're going to have an idea, they're going to have the knowledge. Now, providing they show the commitment and dedication, then they're going to be in a good place to compete with the big boys, because the last thing you want is that young lad going up for a club, especially on ETS, and one fancy's got 10, 12, 14, 16 beds before he's got one. That's him finished, he's smashed. Because there's no handicaps in the sport. So that was the reason of me coming on and trying to follow this, if you like. You know, some seasoned fancies would probably think, I'm not going to swear, but, you know, I'll continue as I am. I never said for 1 minute, oh, right, perfect or whatever. I'm just trying to help the novice fancier. And I know it's tried, tested and proven, because the fanciers that we've helped already. I'm not racing anymore. I'm not to ride, basically.
Well, that's the big kicker, isn't it? The kicker is to it that you're never going to race other than doing the Who Dares Wins. So that's the big reason why people should know that you're serious about doing it. So that's what's going to happen. The goal is to get the first DVD out and ready by Blackpool Show. And that's what's going to happen. Everything and more is going to be in there, and that's what Gary's going to do. So yeah. That's it. And entries are going well for the race. How many are you up to now, mate?
Off top of my head, just under 500. So, you know, it's phenomenal for this time of year. Ireland was amazing, absolutely. But then again, they've won it twice in 5 years, so plus the 100 grand prize pot, you know, it's not to be sniffed at.
Yeah,
well, it's actually important. It's more than that, you know what I mean, with the gold medals and the bits added to it, you know. So, yeah, it's going phenomenal at the minute. You know, I think there may be some disappointed people who are sitting on the fence and wait till the last minute, but I'm not trying to do that as a sales pitch.
Well, at the end of the day, the maximum you've got is the maximum you will always have, and it will never go bigger than it. We talked about this before. The maximum you've got is 1,500 bird limit. That is it. It will never be bigger than that, and that is the limit for this year. So it is what it is. You've got the easy payment plan. £50 gets you in on a team of 3. And this is the leaflet, which shows you clearly it's £40,000 first prize, second prize is 17, third is 8, and prizes go all the way down to 50th. Easy payment plan, £50, gets you a team of 3. Let's catch up with some comments really quickly. Wayne Sweet says they're going down, him and Samantha are going down, they'll take him, great, job done. And Joshua knows Wayne and Samantha already, so that's it. He's coming to Blackpool. Les Cross says, Gary, do you recommend any hotels near you? And do you get meal deals? Laugh out loud.
What we're trying to do next year, Mark, which I'm trying to keep under my hat a bit, but Les is always a step ahead of everybody else, you see. We're trying to put all the pigeon people next year, because as you know, this year, all the hotels are booked solid. We was absolutely swamped out, you know. So what I want to try next year, I want to block book one hotel, get everybody under the same roof, lay on a 45, 54, whatever it is, seat the bus, 2 buses, whatever, pick up from the hotel, bring them to the race, then 8:30, whatever time people decide to call it a day at night time, pick them up from the race, take them back to the hotel. that's what we wanted to do this year. Instead of having so many fancies in this hotel, that hotel, that hotel, plus next year, as some fancies have tried to book already, there's a massive wedding on near where we live, because it's a big wedding hotel or function, whatever it is. It's over the fields from us. All the hotels are booked, so that's what gave me the idea. Hang on a minute, let's block book the hotel. Let's block book one hotel. Let's have everybody on the same roof. It's in a nice town. It's only 4 miles away. We'll put a bus on. We'll pay for the bus, so there's no cost. And you know, there'll be some good pigeon banter. I'm even thinking of arranging something for the evening, whether it's a pigeon moot or whatever. There's a lot of ideas out there. These are Annette's ideas, the boss's idea. She come up with various ideas, which are quite constructive, actually.
Right, figures it's her ideas.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, cool. So you're going to book a hotel and sort all that out. So there you go, Les. Greg O'Reilly says it was a pleasure to meet you at the Dublin show. My son Jamie says hello. Andrew Walton says 16 first this year, says you know more. Chris Deegan says put me down for a set please Gary. I think he's talking about the DVDs. Keith Gardner says what's the price for the race? Keith, it is £500 for a 3-bird entry, all fully activated. £50 deposit gets you in, and you can pay as little or as much each week, month, whatever you want between now and the birds going into the loft. As long as the birds are paid for by the time they hit the loft, you can do an easy payment plan. There you go. Chris has answered the question as well. So that's it. £500 for 3 birds. £40,000 guaranteed. £100,000 guaranteed prize and money for 2020. So yeah, there we go. Cheers, mate. Thank you for that.
The other thing, Mark,
go on.
The other thing, Mark, before you cut me off, when this funding started, was it a week, 2 weeks ago? It was to get to get Joshua a loft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. He's got his loft. We've got scores of donations out there, etc., etc. So, as you know, we put up a 3-bird team, and it was for 59 numbers, yeah, lottery numbers at £20 a ticket.
Yeah.
And it was drawn in Blackpool.
Mhm.
We've got numbers coming out left, right, and centre, which is going to soon be posted on social media. What I'd like to do with that money now, I know that Joshua's got enough for his loft, and hopefully he'll get more besides. I hope some loft manufacturer out there goes and builds him a loft. I'd like to try and, which I'm not into this sort of thing, remember, I'd like to try and create a young fancier, I don't know how to word it really, a young fancier starter pot or something like that, where any other young fancier, like Joshua, coming to the sport, the donation of ours would be, I don't know, what would it be, £1,100, £1,200, whatever, yeah? And we put in a pot to try and get that fancier started.
Yep, I agree with that.
What I'm trying to get at, without being, I don't want to be disrespectful, no, but what I'm trying to say is, Joshua's already got his loft, he's got donations for pigeons. To then pile another £1,100 on top of that, you know, I don't see where he's going to need that kind of money, because people who are already out there now helping him. What I'm trying to say is that money needs to go into a fund somewhere. Had he not got that, had he not got the loft, had he not got the pigeons, etc., no problem, as we said. But we've reached this target, so we now need to concentrate on other young lads, girls, whatever, coming into sport.
I agree, mate. Yeah, no, absolutely. He you know,
that's all. It's a bit food for thought. That's all.
At the time we talked about it last week, he was on £600, so he was, you know, he wasn't hit his target, and yeah, let's do that. And what we'll do is, although I haven't talked about it much, it's still something that is happening. It just hasn't happened as quickly as I would want it due to time, but we'll do. I've got the Young Flyers page on Facebook, which is an offshoot of the Pigeon Sport Future Foundation, which is still very much going to happen, and we'll do it via that. It'll go in. The money raised from this will go into the PSFF Foundation's pot, into the Young Flyers pot, and that will be the pot ready for the next that we and any more money that it raises will go in and support the next young flyer that comes in. Let's do that.
Well, this is what we need, because this sport's down on its feet. Let's not kid ourselves here. Long gone are the mining communities where you're born into pigeons. They're gone. It's finished. The steelworks in Wales destroyed. The mining in Wales destroyed. What was at one time of the day a massive pigeon fraternity. You look at each club each day. The only place where I will say this, pigeon racing is still massive is in Ireland. And one of the reasons is it's why it's massive in Ireland, bit right or bit wrong. They don't allow all these small clubs to crop up because people can't win in clubs. They don't allow these clubs with 3 members sending 60 birds, 4 members sending 20 birds. If you're in the boundary, or let's say, I know one village near me. I don't know about that, but 2 years ago, I had 4 clubs in one village. Why didn't they have one big club and raise for a load of money? Because Joe Bloggs there can't beat him, and he can't beat him, and he don't like him. It's shit. In Ireland, that don't happen.
I agree.
You get what you get. And
it's a good point.
Fed to 3,000 or 6,000 pigeons, and you get the recognition then that you deserve when you win that.
Absolutely, it's a good point.
And one the point of going back at is the RPRA don't. Okay, they go out speaking to schools and things like that, but from a financial point of view, where is the help to get a young professional into sport? What help has Joshua had from the RPRA to encourage him to come into sport? That's my question. No doubt Ian Evans is watching, so come on Ian, let's see what he's going to say.
I like Ian. I think his hands tied. I think his hands are tied more than.
Ian is the best general manager we have had in 15 years, because he lives in the real world, and he's been brought up from a pigeon background. He's not a wing commander out at RAF.
But remember, his hands are tied by the organisational structure.
I got down to the last 3 for the general manager's job with the RPRA.
You did?
Yeah, I wonder why I didn't get it.
Well, I know why you didn't get it.
The rest of my case.
I like Ian Evans. I got a lot of time for him, and I think his hands are tied by the organisational structure, which is a shame, because actually with the vision he's got, he is the man it needs. But
absolutely,
with how the organisational structure is at the moment as it is, he can't do any more about it. But that's another subject for another day. Ian's very busy with some personal stuff at the moment, in addition to his work at the RPRA. But he will come on. He will be coming on at some point, and we can talk about all that stuff as well.
Ian is a top man. Make no mistake about it. An absolute gem for the sport. But as you said, there's the red tape, chipping through that red tape, and the, if you like, old wife's brigade is tough, and it always will be tough. But what I would like to say is continuing. Please continue. And for me, you're the best general manager. Trust me, and I've been in this a long time, that we've had in many, many years.
Absolutely. Gary Russell says, where do you get entry forms from? He wants to enter 3, so you got another entry there. Gary, they're on the website, whodareswinsrace.com, or message Gary on Facebook and he'll sort you out. And well done, Gary, you're in for 3, that's great. Chris Deegan says, great point, Gary. Les Cross says, good night, lads, always a pleasure listening to you. Thank you. So there you go. Right, that's about it for tonight. Aaron is going to be hosting the show next week. He's hopefully going to have a guest. If you would like to be a guest on Aaron's show, let him know. He will be here 8 o'clock on Monday, and he will be hosting the show and doing a good job, if not better than me, as he has done in the past times. Behind the scenes, folks, there's a hell of a lot going on with RPI and what's going on, and there's more to be told about that in the coming weeks and months. This DVD project with Gary is an exciting one because it is genuinely going to be absolutely everything and anything that Gary knows about the different subjects, and I like the idea of it helping as many people. And it stands to reason, and it goes without saying that any young flyers that are starting will be gifted a copy. They won't actually be gifted copies of DVDs because no young people have DVD players anymore. They will be gifted an online streamable copy of it. This DVD, this video will be an online streamable thing as well, and any young flyers out there will be gifted the entire series as they become available. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. It's been commented I've been a bit quiet. I've been a bit quiet for a couple of reasons. One, I'm sick of Facebook taking my videos down, and now I'm actually speaking to Facebook. They want me to give them the web addresses of the videos that have been took down so that they can try and put them back. And I'm like, hang on a minute, how am I supposed to know the website addresses of the videos being took down when you've took them down? Unbelievable. But the point I was making is this TV show and everything we do online and live will be going from our own website and then distributed to all of the different social media platforms. That's how it's happening now. We're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, various different places, but it will also be broadcasting to our own website. So you'll just be able to go to the website, watch it, and if you want to watch it on social media and what have you, that's it. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes as well. And I guess I've kind of held back a little bit on doing a lot of the lives I used to do because I'm trying to get this system to where in place to where I don't do a live and then the next day it's took down, because that is quite demoralizing. But as always, I'm always thinking and working, and although a little bit delayed, it will happen where we're broadcasting all the time. And it coincides with getting RacingPigeonNetwork.com up and running as well. I'm away next week. Like I said, Aaron's doing it. I'm going to China on Thursday, which I'm very much looking forward to the Langfan show. There's about 40,000 people that go there. If anybody wants me to look for anything over there, find out any information, get any tips, get any ideas of specifics that they want. Somebody's already asked me to what ETS they use over there. If there's anything you'd like me to try and find out while I'm there, I get in Friday. I'm at the show Saturday and Sunday. I do have a translator with me all the time, and I fly back Monday. If there's anything you want to know, let me know while I'm there. And that's about it. Carl Ford says, can I have one free Gary? I'm young. I think we know the answer to that one, Carl.
Try and lie to him, you know.
So yeah, that's it, guys. Be sure to tune in for Aaron next week hosting the show, 8 o'clock on the social media channel of your choice that you're watching. The main one is still Racing Pigeon International's Facebook page. Thank you for watching. Ian Gill wants some chicken fried rice being brought back. Ian, I will try my very best. And what I'm really hoping is that the business cards and the RPI t-shirts that I've had, or I'm having done before I go, don't say something wrong on there, and I just hope it doesn't say chicken chow mein. We will see. I guess I'll get a reaction. Guys, thanks for watching. Be lucky, keep flying, and I'll catch you soon.